Hello, good afternoon, investor and corporate. Welcome to SET Digital Roadshow 2020-21 Year-End Performance Review. This section will run about 45 minutes, including Q&A. Company will start section by 30-minute presentation, followed by 15-minute Q&A. And during Q&A, investor may leave your question in meeting room chat box or use raise your hand function. We will open your microphone so you can ask the question to the company directly. So may I now invite PTG Energy Public Company Limited to start the presentation, please. Thank you very much.
Okay, good afternoon from Bangkok and welcome back to the SET Digital Roadshow as of 2021. So you here with us, PTG IR team. Firstly, we would like to introduce our PTG IR team first. My name is Kitiya Chalamputinan and Senior Investor Relations of PTG Energy. And the next beside me, Kun Sawiti Tanta Ampai, the IR Manager. And our new joiner, Kun Parame Sangon Chokwanit, our Vice President of PTG Energy.
Good afternoon.
So today's session agenda, we will start with a presentation with will probably take time around 30 minutes. And then they are open all of you to asking us if you have any question, please don't hesitate to ask it. Okay, let's start with the today's agenda. Okay, we will start with the highlight over the last year of 2021 and industry outlook, our PG business overview, non-oil roadmap, ESG development, and financial performance. Okay, let's start with the highlight over the last year. Firstly, as PTG still continue expand our service station to cover in strategic area. So right now, PTG ranked at the first place in the oil station touch point. So at the end of last year, we have totaling 1,945 stations across Thailand. Secondly, as you know, PTG start operate LPG auto business since 2015. So in the fourth quarter of 2021, we have the market share of 20.8% in the fourth quarter, which is we ranked at the first largest in the auto LPG market share. Thirdly, we have seen the non-oil growth in both in the touch point. The touch point is a non-oil network, but PTG call it touch point. So we have totaling 922 touch point, which is increased 166 touch point last year. And for the revenue, as PTG try to pushing the non-oil business, so the revenue increased more than 34% last year, mainly from the LPG business and the F&B business under Pantai Coffee business. Next highlight is PT McGuard. So during the past time, PTG tried to create new experience to customer to fulfill a lifestyle which is offering variety of benefit. So last year we launched first time annual fuel membership card in Thailand, which is called PT McGuard card. You can earn the point, redeem and discard reward. So not only, but you can transfer the point between the membership card with over 100 partners in this card. Last but not least, so as I mentioned that PTG tried to pushing the non-oil business. So as a result, we have seen the Pantai and Siam Autobank start positive net profit in the first quarter of 2021. So we have seen these two segments of the business for the potential. So we try to develop the marketing strategy for the non-oil business with the target to increase the non-oil proportion in the long-term growth. Next is the industry outlook. So this slide will show you the oil consumption. In the left-hand side, will show you the oil consumption channel consumption. So if you look at the quarter four, the consumption the consumption in the oil channel was totaling 8,690 million liters, which is increased 22.2% Q-on-Q and decreased 4% year-on-year. Due to the COVID situation continue to improve, So the government started to ease the lockdown measure since November 2021, and Thailand began to accept the foreign tourists, and overall activities start to recover. But if you look at the full year, the consumption for the all-channel consumption was totaling 32,526 milliliters, which is decreased 6.6% year-on-year due to the Thailand faced the fifth wave of the COVID-19 epidemic during the past time. At the right-hand side for the retail consumption, the retail consumption was accounted for around 78.6% of all channel consumption. And the reason of the sales volume growth in the retail consumption is similar to the all channel consumption. Next is the LPG, Thailand LPG consumption. If you look at the proportion, the main proportion still came from the household, which is accounted for 61% of the total consumption. And auto and industrial sector was accounted for 20 and 19% respectively. And if you look at the consumption in the fourth quarter, the consumption for the LPG consumption was 1,612 milliliters, which is increased 9.9% Q-on-Q and decreased 1.8% year-on-year. And if you look at by the sector, you will see that every sector was improved if you compare to the quarter to quarter due to the recovery of the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, move to the LPG business overview. We start with the oil sales volume. In the fourth quarter, PTG recorded a sales volume of 1,297 milliliters, which is increased 16.3% Q-on-Q, but decreased 1.4% year-on-year. And if we look at the whole year, the consumption for the PTG was totaling 5,020 milliliters, which is increased 1.2% from the last year. And if we look at by the channel, you will see that the retail channel is still the main channel of PTG sales volume, which is accounted for 95.7% of total sales volume. And if you look at by the product, the main product still came from the diesel, which is accounted for 74% of the total sales volume. And the sales volume growth in PTG for the whole year, the sales volume was mainly from our oil sales was rebound after the COVID impact. However, if we look at the same-store sale in this year, the same-store sale decreased by 3.04% year-on-year for this year due to the Thailand faced the many waves for the COVID-19 pandemic. Move to the LPG sales volume. The LPG jet sales volume in the fourth quarter was 102 milliliters, which is increased 36.2% Q-on-Q and increased 78.1% year-on-year. And for the whole year, the sales volume for the LPG totaling 300 milliliters, which is increased more than 72% year-over-year. If you look at the LPG consumption, you will see that the main contribution of the LPG sales volume is still from auto LPG, which is accounted for 70.4% of the total portfolio. As PTG entered into the auto LPG since 2015, and another key growth driver is household and industrial. So PTG have seen the opportunity as this sector will be the key growth driver for the PTG business overview in the future. So right now we have company had 171 gas shop, and recently we have 3 locations of gas filling plant to support the distribution for the LPG household and the industrial sector. Okay, let's move to the market share. As I mentioned that PTG as I mentioned at the beginning, that PTG still expand our service station to cover the strategic area across Thailand. So PTG still maintain the second rank in the market share both oil and retail channel. So with the market share of 15.5% for the oil channel, which is increased from 14.2% last year. For the retail consumption, PTG has a market share of 18.7% of the market share, which is increased from the 17% last year. For the LPG market share, in the left-hand side, we'll show you the oil channel market share consumption. You will see that PTG was ranked into the fifth in the LPG market share through oil channel market share with the market share of 4.8%, increased from 1.3% last year. And in the right-hand side, for the auto LPG consumption, you will see that is a highlight that in the fourth quarter, PTG was ranked in the first market share in the fourth quarter, but for the whole year, PTG ranked in the second largest for the market share through auto consumption with the market share of 18%, up from 5.5% last year. This slide shows you the oil and LPG station, our network of oil and LPG. At the end of 2021, we have totaling 2,167 stations across Thailand. So we can divide it into oil co-op or company-owned, company-operate 1,637 stations. For oil total, dealer-owned, dealer-operated for 308 stations. In terms of LPG, we have both standalone and mixed stations. We have 80 stations for the standalone and 142 for the mixed station. And for the contribution, the main contribution, which is what accounted around 15%, came from North and Northeast province in Thailand. This is show you the non-oil network, or we call it non-oil touch point. At the end of 2021, we have totaling 922 touch points across Thailand. We have Maxmart. Maxmart is a convenience store which is located inside of PT service station. We have 267 locations. For the Pantai is under F&B business. For the Pantai coffee shop, we have totaling 322 locations. For the coffee roll is also under F&B business, but location was located in the department store and airport. So at the end of last year, we have 47 station location. And for the gas shop is contribute cylinder to household. We have 171 gas shop. For the auto bag is a repair and maintenance service center for the passenger car. We have 26 locations. And the Maxiton Loop Chain, we have 33 locations. And for the Max Camp is a rest area for the customer. We have totaling 41 rest area. And last is EV charging station. So last year we have a collaboration with the EGAT, or Electricity Generating Authority of Thailand. We have 5 locations for the EV charging. Okay, for the non-oil business, in 2021, PTG continuously developed its non-oil business with aim to generate consistent profit and revenue portfolio in long-term growth. So we start with the Pantai coffee. For the Pantai coffee for the revenue in the fourth quarter was 125 billion baht, which is increased 13.4% year-on-year and increased 28.1% year-on-year. And if you look at by the whole year, the revenue was increased 30% year on year. So during the past time, PTG tried to promote Pan Thai through the marketing channel, both in the online and offline. Not only promote our marketing, but PTG tried to launch many new products, which is with the community product. For example, Mapi product or Dog Macau, for example. In the right-hand side is the coffee roll. The coffee roll revenue for the coffee roll in the 2021 was decreased 61.5% year over year due to the less in the international tourists. As I mentioned that the location of the coffee roll was located in the department store and airport. However, PTG tried to rebranding. We are on the process of the rebranding of the coffee roll, for example, branding, design, logo, or product. So you guys will see the new look of the model within the second quarter of this year. Next is the MaxMart or our convenience store. So the revenue for the MaxMart in the last year was 1,133 million baht, which is increased 2.2% year over year. So during the past time, the MaxMart tried to add variety of the product and provide more food service for the customer who visit to our PT station. And this year we have planned to expand our MaxMart about 50 locations for the PT station across Thailand. Next is the Pan Thai. Next is the auto bags. Auto bag is the repair and maintenance car service for the passenger car. The revenue in the 2021 was 160 million baht, which is decreased 9.5% Q on Q. However, as I mentioned that the auto bags start to generate the net profit in the fourth quarter. So PTG still see the opportunity in this business and try to fulfill the comprehensive need for the customer. So we plan to add more locations for the auto bag, about 30 locations in this year. Next is other business. For the 2021 other business, record the revenue was 803 million baht, increased 37.5% year on year. For the other business, including the logistics, lubricant, and sale of the product revenue. Last one is the palm complex. Palm complex is PTG invest 40% in PPP complex. In PPP Green Complex Limited Company Limited. So the revenue in the net profit sharing in the 2021 was 165 million baht, which is decreased 54% year over year. The reason of the decrease in the net profit sharing is, due to the last year, the Thailand has adjust some biodiesel mandatory aspect of the retail fuel price. However, PTG still adjust the target of the net profit sharing from the farm complex of 180 to 200 million baht per year. Okay, next is the non-oil roadmap. So Kun Paramesh will hand over in this part.
Okay, so we can see that our performance in non-oil business has been getting better continuously. So to capture or harness this momentum, we come up with a solid non-oil roadmap in order to achieve that. Based on our vision is to enrich the quality of life, well-being, and contentedness of the people we serve, or in Thai we call Yudi Misu, to get them have a better life. By that vision, we aim to achieve the target of 2026 or the next 5 years to get a non-oil net profit mix of 50%. Besides the business of oil and gas business, we focus on these 7 businesses, which are food and beverages, retail, digital platform, logistics, auto care, health and wellness, and renewable energy. For these 7 businesses, we have 3 methods. We start with the top right, which is the low-hanging fruit, by expanding the stores and the touch point of each business. You can see that the first line is the Thai and Coffee World. We aim to achieve 3,000 stores in the next 5 years. So we have target for each year. And then for the Max Mart, for the retail, we aim to achieve 500 stores in the next 5 years. Gas shop, as we mentioned earlier, we gear towards more on household LPG. That's why we open more shops and aim to achieve more than 700 in the 2026. And for auto bags, as well as Max Camp, as well as the EV charging station, we have the roadmap to expand throughout the country in each year. And as well as the touch points, mainly you can see that it can be expanded to more than 260,000 touch points. Touch points mean not only the physical touch point between the customer and our company, but touch point means the digital touch point. I'll explain it later in the part tour, mainly from the part tour business, which we will connect to the local merchant of more than 200,000 stores. And the second one is to partner and joint venture. On the bottom left, from the right part, we call it the downstream business. And for the left part, we call it the upstream business. There are many businesses of non-oil that we have. For example, Thai and Coffee World, we already have the downstream business. We try to get backwards to the upstream business, which is Greenovate. Greenovate stands for the company that will do the business in terms of cannabis plantation. We can get the benefits from the R&D. We can get the benefit from the new product developments in terms of whether it be food or whether it be the skincare or health and wellness. And the second one is the renewable energy, the ELEX. This is a charging station of the electricity car. We get back to the upstream line, whether it is solar roof or pump complex, to have a variation in terms of energy provided to customer. Or the retail, we adopt the technology to have a smart vending machine, not just the vending. Have a smart vending machine. I'll tell you later about why we need to have the smart vending. And the next one is the health and wellness that we plan to joint venture with the Wash Express, which is the laundry company, laundry business, and we'll get to the station all throughout Thailand. And then for the last one, we have the MaxBit. MaxBit is the digital platform. It is the cryptocurrency trading platform. It's different in what we have in the market because will be a lot easier. It will remove the difficulties in terms of trading. And then, of course, we use the MaxWorld members of 17 million as a springboard for this platform. And the last one for the co-creation and investment in startup. We have a corporate venture capital named Max Ventures. They do both roles. They do 2 roles. First is co-create, to incubate the business within the organization and then come up with a new business, and also to invest in the potential startups in the market. We have Next Pharma, we have Pavitri, some kind of skincare and supplements, and also the Patua. It's a platform that we connect to the local merchant store, more than 100,000 throughout nationwide. I mean, in the future, you can connect to the member the system of our Max World through that merchant. And also we invest in a 360 truck, which is a logistic and digital platform. You can think of Grab in terms of commercial truck. This platform match between the hire or the customer with the empty haul. And then on top of that, we can get the data from the truck driver. That's why we think it's important to us to get the data from the driver, combined to the maximum of our 17 million data. In order to achieve this dream, we need two enablers, which is the Maxwell and also the e-wallet. In the past, we only have the Maxwell, but in this second quarter this year, we're going to have the e-wallet. It's going to be launched. And this will complement it. This will complete our ecosystem. And all in all, we expect to invest around 1,500 to 2,000 million baht a year. For the e-wallet, it is an open online platform that connects between Maxwell or Max citizens with the local merchant or any kind of business to meet each other. And also connect between offline and online experience. In the past, you can only earn the point through the station or offline, and then you earn and burn only on offline. Earn at the station, earn at the Pan Thai coffee, and then burn at the station as well. But in the future, you can earn online and burn offline. Vice versa, you can earn offline and then burn offline with this tool of e-wallet. And also the reward will be used. We have the rewards of more than 1 billion points in the system. That's why we do make ecosystem like more dynamic. And of course, we can also add service for the members in the system, whether it be the lending service. So in 2022, we're going to have the touch point around 5,000 e-wallet partners in the system. And also by the end of the year, we're going to have another 100 and 500 partners touch points. And also in combination, we're going to have more than 6,500 touch points by the end of the year. So for this year target, for the network, we're going to have oil station of 2010, and also the non-oil station of 1,572, consisted of LPG and mix of 252, and also F&B, Pan Thai, Maxmart, and other service of 1,320. We expect to have a growth in oil sales volume of 6 to 10%. And LPG, as you know, we try to penetrate more in household. So that's why we aim to grow on LPG about 50 to 60%. And EBITDA plus 15 to 20% year on year as well. And the non-oil business sales expect to be to grow 80 to 90%, almost double. And also the gross profit portion, now we get around 10%, right? So we are going to get around 15 to 20% by the end of this year. And for the capital expenditure budget, in total, we plan to, we have budget of 3,000 to 4,000 million baht. The core business, half of it, 50% goes to core business to expand the station, to expand the LPG business, around half of it, 1,500 to 2,000 million baht. And another half goes to non-oil business and new business.
Okay, I will go quickly to have more time on the Q&A part. Okay, so ESG development. PTG places great importance with the communities and society. So we have done a lot of projects in the past year. For example, we actually joining the Ministry of Commerce, helping the farmers during the oversupply crisis, and also we supporting the local ingredients in beverage menus in Pan Thai coffee, and also helping the taxi driver to convert the NGV to LPG engine to help the driver to reduce the cost of operations. Next, for CSR, we also have done a lot of activities, environmental activities, also giving away during the public health crisis. We also allocating spaces for vaccination areas to the government agency, and also supporting drinking waters and beverage to the patients, also giving free sanitizing services to the drivers. Okay, let's move on financial performance. We will start with the revenue. You will see that the revenue increase year over year and Q over Q. Actually, the majority of the increase was from the oil price. The oil price growth about 25 to 35% year over year. So you will see, even though actually the former slide shows a bit increase in sales volume, but you see that the amount increased a lot, about 30 to 35% here. The majority of the revenue comes from oil business. The non-oil part starting to get better. We have about 4.2% position here. However, when we see in gross profit side, you will see a lot of drops Q over Q and year over year. That's due to the fourth quarter. We have faced the high increase in the oil price, and the government actually put on cap on diesel price about 30 baht per liter, which impacts a lot on the marketing margin. So the marketing margin in fourth Q, it's actually the lowest GP in the last 8 years. So we see this situation is very unusual, and we think that the lowest bottom already passed in the fourth Q. The 2021 fiscal year, you will see the mix. In the oil business, it's still majority of the mix of gross profits, but we have seen a lot of increase in LPG, which is accounted for 6.2%. Also CBS and others about 5.1%, and F&B about 3.3%. We have seen a lot of improvement mainly in LPG and also F&B business. Okay, so EBITDA and net profit also was reflected from the low marketing margin. You will see that we have like 4Q, the EBITDA about 960 million baht, which is dropped Q over Q and year over year. When we look at fiscal year 21, we also have 5.4 billion for EBITDA, decrease about 14% year over year. Likewise, net profits also decreased. The majority of impact was from the low marketing margin. Okay, so in terms of the financial position, we increased the position. The financial position increased about 5.6% compared to last year, and also actually the high asset was from PP&E and also right of use asset. That's from the expansion, both oil and non-oil business. In terms of the liabilities, not much difference. The majority is from trade payables. That's because of the payment cycle. Okay. Okay, for next one, the ratios, the profitability ratios for 2021, the ROA, ROE decreased. That's definitely from the low GP. And also actually the leverage ratio decreased. That's because we're trying to match up the cash flow from operating and also the cash flow from investing. So you will see that in EBITDA, actually IBD to equities for the covenants only 1.19% with 1.19 times. The requirements about 3 times. Okay. So the operating cycle this year at the end of the fourth quarter, we have a minus 3.13 days. It's actually in the normal level. Our business is trading business, so we have minus cash cycle. And also when you look at the cash flow, this is the second year that our investment was about 2 billion baht. We trying to match with the operating cash flow in order to lower the liabilities. So you see that pay back more about 2.2 billion. for financing activities. Okay. Okay, so here is the total part of PTG, and we would like to open for the Q&A.
The section has come to an end. So on behalf of the Stock Exchange of Thailand, I would like to thank you, investor and corporate, for joining the conference. We look forward to welcome you all again. Thank you very much and have a good day. ขอบคุณนะคะ
ขอบคุณครับ
ค่ะ